So I'm here with Claire from Claire Temple, Six Steps Transform. And first of all, Claire, congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much.
Can you start off by giving us, very in-depth what you do, but a brief overview of what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a naturopath and a personal growth coach, and I help people who are struggling with chronic health conditions that they can't really find an answer to, and I help to guide them firstly to find out what's going on with their body, and also through a process of 6 steps where we rebuild their health from the ground up.
And you've been in the fitness industry for a couple of decades now, 20 years, and you've been doing this specifically for around 10 years. Obviously, through that time before you started this company, how did you start to add in other aspects to fitness, like the mental side of it and so forth, nutrition and so forth?
So I think a lot of people who end up in this work, it was because of my own challenges. So I was working as a personal trainer and sports therapist, helping people with their health and happiness, and I was working very hard and I wasn't taking care of myself and I burned out. And I had digestive issues, hormonal issues, chronic fatigue, and I would go to the doctor and the doctor would be like, well, you're fit and healthy, you're a personal trainer, there's nothing wrong with you. And I didn't feel well and I couldn't function and I was struggling, so I went and found different people, so nutritionists, naturopaths. I started then doing training courses and learning more about it, and through that realised there was all this information about how to take care of yourself, how to think about life, how to think about the world, and a way of rebuilding health that is actually really common sense because it's all diet and lifestyle and mindset. But we're just not taught it in that way. And so there's loads of people struggling and they don't know what's wrong. So I started training in all these different disciplines so that I could just be a one-stop shop for people who wanted to work on everything with a holistic approach and really get to the bottom of the health conditions. And
those that come to you with these conditions, you might think it must be physical elements. That's why you're experiencing this pain, or as in, an outsider or somebody like me might think that. But the mindset is so important, and it is one of those steps, isn't it? The mindset. Can you tell us more about how important that is?
Yeah. Everything that we do on a daily basis is all based on choice. So when you wake up in the morning and you make a decision of what to eat or what you're going to expect of yourself for that day, it all comes down to how you view yourself, things that you've been through in the past, coping strategies that you've developed in order to deal with things. And so bringing awareness to choices and definitely making it apparent that there are way more choices than you think that there are, mean that we can start not only making a choice based on the reasons for making the choice, but start educating about what food does. So like blood sugar, for instance. If you know that you'd get through the day by having a biscuit every time you feel a bit low, your blood sugar is going to go on a roller coaster. So instead, you realise that emotionally, you need to balance rather than reach for a biscuit, and then your blood sugar balances and you feel better, mind, body, and life.
Yeah. And there's 2 ways in which people can work with you, isn't there? There's the individual, there's the one-to-one way, which is more intensive. Then there's the group sessions as well. Can you talk to us a little bit more about how those work?
Yeah, so I run a 6-month programme where we do testing, I teach all of the different elements of the 6 steps, all the different awarenesses about food and like blood sugar, that kind of thing, and guide people on an in-depth journey where we do a lot of contact, emotional coaching sessions, nutrition coaching sessions, blood test interpretations, and we work very closely over that 6-month period to really get a strong outcome. But some people aren't quite ready for that in-depth work, and so I also offer a group coaching. So we span that from 6 months to a year, and we have regular Zoom calls where I teach, we have discussions, people get hot seats so they're able to ask me questions directly, and they also get access to all of the video content and information. So there is really about that self-led, like wanting to learn more but not quite ready to make the commitment to do the one-to-one, and sometimes that's enough to give people what they need to reclaim their health, or they can then transition over and do more one-to-one with me to really get the pieces in place to get the result they want.
And before they get into those key 6 steps. Everything, I suppose, starts with an initial consultation of sorts. Maybe you don't call it that, but how important is that to, because it's so individual, isn't it, what you do ultimately? You've got those 6 steps, but they're different,
Yeah.
or elements of them are different for each person, of course. How
Yeah.
important is that initial contact with them?
Yeah, so before I start working with anyone on a paid basis, we have a free discovery call, and we basically go through everything that they've been through, everything that they've tried, because often people have been trying for years to try to find a solution. And then we set up a lot of different testing and assessments so that we really get some good data to work with. So whilst it's the art of coaching, it's also the science of biochemistry and nutrition. And so we really get into a lot of detail. For instance, blood tests. If you go to your doctor, they look at whether you've got a disease or not in the blood tests. Whereas if you look at a set of standard blood tests, you can see if somebody's got nutritional deficiencies, if they're trending in a certain direction, if they've got slight low-grade inflammation. And so all of that information is just pure gold for them being able to select the right things for that person to do.
Well, thanks very much for taking time to speak to us.
Pleasure. Thank you for the award.
And congratulations on your award again. Thank you.
Thank you.